Good day, Sir Blasphemy here for Sir Blasphemy's Travels. I hope you guys are doing well out there. I hope you're having the day you deserve. And yeah, we're coming to you today with another video here. Nothing fancy again, but I'm doing my best to keep these going as I'm preparing for the Texas Renaissance Festival 2025. So this will be my last video until you guys see the always annual, every time I do this, the road to the Texas Renaissance Festival video. So where I show you, for those of you who may not know this, I show you some sights and sounds and views from the road and all the way until I get to TRF and show you a little bit of behind the scenes stuff. And so that'll be what the next video is. So it's still a couple of weeks away, as is the Texas Renaissance Festival. But this will be my last video for that. And really quick, before I continue with this video, I want to remind you guys, please take a moment to like and subscribe. And it really helps me out, helps the algorithm. And always comment if you can, if you want to. I always comment back 100% of the time. And don't forget to tickle that bell so you're aware of all future notifications. So, all right, we're going to do a little fun video here today as I wrap up sitting at home and as I'm preparing all the candy bars and all the goodness that I bring to you guys at the Texas Renaissance Festival. Real quick, I want to briefly remind everybody, in case they haven't seen other videos or if there's new people that have never seen my videos before that are watching this. I have moved locations at the Texas Renaissance Festival. I have purchased a booth. I'm at booth F8. I'm still in the same section that I've been at, so I was fortunate to kind of find something really close to where I was already at. But you guys know the main mead hall there in Florence Market, which is across from the rock climbing tower and all that, sits right next to the Rose Pavilion where people get married and stuff. I am actually, I used to be right behind the mead hall, I'm actually now right across the street in front of it, okay? Next to the 360 video place. You guys know what that name of that place is, but a lot of people know that one. So come see me. I have gelato this time. I'm gonna have drinks. I'm gonna have candy bars. I'm gonna have, my usual candy bars, but not just any. Belgian chocolate, Italian gelato. My drinks are gonna be very special for the 21 and up crew. And of course the magical gummies for the 21 and up crew. So yeah, come out and see me. And yeah, come find me. I'm easy to find, booth F8, Texas Renaissance Festival. Say it again, booth F8. Look on your maps and you'll be able to find me. All right, so let's get into this video. So 5 reasons I absolutely love being a vendor at Renaissance fairs. These are in no particular order. I'm just going down what I thought, and there's 100 reasons, but I'm just gonna grab 5 here. Other vendors that see this video might name some more, and they're welcome to comment down in the comment section and kind of let folks know. So, all right, so for me, the travel. Number 1, the travel. I think that I love the route going to all the fairs. I love the moment in the vehicle to myself. If I travel alone, some people might, they travel with other people and everything like that. But for me, just being alone and having, something on the radio chilling and just open highway and potentially taking new paths or stopping off to see sights that I haven't seen, or even the ones that I always see over and over that I love seeing each time I drive a certain, path to go to a fair. I just love it. The freedom, there's nothing better, especially when it's, like it's cooling down and the temperature is fantastic. You can open the windows and you're just jogging down the road, man. It's the best thing, stopping off and eating some food from some place you've never tried or what, I love that whole experience. I love arriving somewhere and just, calling it a night, in between driving days and chilling outside, looking at areas you're not familiar with and maybe, taking in some scenes or looking at some new things that you just don't get to see all the time. There's just something about it I love. There's a mystique. I'm a road dog. I love that kind of stuff. And I absolutely love traveling to Renaissance fairs. I love the travel portion. That's like, to me, is as much fun as doing the event itself. I love it. So traveling is number 1. And again, no particular order on these guys. All right, number 2 is gonna be the schedule of Ren fairs. I love it. I mean, they're 2 months at a time, so you don't by the time you start getting exhausted from doing one fair, it's over, right? And then you miss it when you leave it. But the schedule, so for a lot of us, there still is weekly work, and there is for me too. But you're on your own schedule. You're kind of doing your thing. If you really played your cards right, and you really nailed this, which is something that I'm honing in, you can essentially get about 4 days, maybe even 5 days off a week. Now, you still have to go do your banking, and there's supply you got to make and things like that. So again, it depends on what you make. But if you're like me, I have to make a lot of my stuff up front and then sell it there. So I don't have a ton of stuff to do during the week other than little stuff. Other than go pick up, like I'll have gelato now. So I'll have to go meet my chef and coordinate with them, each week and stuff like that about what we're going to have, what's favorite, what's not, things like that. So banking, stuff like that. So you got to do, whatever, your needs are during the week. But that's kind of pretty much how it goes anyway when you have days off, right? You got to run and go prepare for the next week of work or whatever. Except the difference is you have more time to do it. You have more time to do your thing, to be yourself and schedule yourself. If you want to go to a bank or you got to run an errand, you got to do all this, you just go do it. You don't have to go, crap, man. I'm not going to be able to run that errand because I work all day. I'm going to have to wait till next Friday or next Saturday or, whatever. You don't really have to do that. The only bummer about it is Saturdays and Sundays, if you're a sports fan and you love football, that hurts a little bit. As a football fan, that hurts a little bit. So that's my only complaint. Other than that, it's great. The schedule's fantastic. I love doing it because there's more time to yourself to get things done for yourself and for your business. You can invest more time into that. So anyway, the schedule, that's my number 2. Number 3 is the people. And when I say the people, that means the people that run the fair. That means the people the workers and the vendors that are there and the entertainers and the patrons. It's a different scene, man. It's like a gigantic umbrella. Everybody is welcome from every walk of life. I love it. It's like, if you want to see all aspects of the American social scene, you can go to a Renaissance fair in the United States of America and see everyone on any given Saturday or Sunday from all walks of life, from all views and points of view, whatever. You can see them all in one place, getting along and dropping their cares off at one time. And what I love about it is, like, because of that effect, even when you go in and meet like the management and things like that, usually you get to know all the people in management very well, or you have some kind of relationship with them, and you're kind of closer to them than you are at, like, maybe people at your jobs, because it doesn't feel like a job. It feels like you're putting together a community program and you're all there to execute it, and you all have one goal. It's like, so that works with that. And then on top of that, then you have that kind of with management, at least I do. Then you go and you see those familiar vendors and those familiar entertainers that and you've seen them all over the country. You'll be in Texas one time, and then you're in California, and you run into them again. It's so neat to like have that, knowing that we're all traveling this same road for the most part. And you run into those familiar faces, and you get to know them, and you get to know them like family. I have people now, Renaissance people, that I know now that I would consider them family, or I would consider them, they are family, but I would consider them at the very least very good friends. And I'm not the type of guy, like, if I worked at a 9 to 5, I'm not the type of guy that makes friends. I just don't. I don't like it. I'd separate that. I'm like, nah, I don't want to But these folks, you do, because everybody is so different, and they're so unique, and they're so creative, and they're so interesting to me. And so I have a really good time, being around the vendors. They're part of it. They're what elevate the vendors and the entertainers there. They're what elevate, for me, the feeling when you're there. It just makes you feel at home. Yes, like everything, there's always the occasional one bad egg that maybe has a bad vibe and you don't get around. That's okay. But 99.9% of the time, it's fantastic. And then, of course, there's the patrons. because the patrons drop their guard when they get there. You have some that'll come up and they'll talk politics, and you try to, you're not there for that, or whatever. They'll try to talk some kind of aggravating view. You try to step away from that and be like, no. But that's very rare. It doesn't happen hardly at all, because most people are there to drop their cares and just experience the day and get into good trouble. You know what I mean? And so, and it's fun because now they're patrons, and they'll comment right here in the comments that I consider friends now, that I met just through selling stuff, and we talk every year, year after year. And then each year you get to know them, then you expect to see them, and you become friends with them. And I guarantee you those nice folks will comment in my comment section, and we'll see each other this season, and we'll just talk. Instantly, I have a stronger bond with them than sometimes a friend from high school that takes me out to meet a friend of his that he knows and trusts. And I could run into that person 10 times and still be like, yeah, but you know, I'm not really hanging out. But these folks, after meeting them maybe a time or two, it's like, oh yeah, anytime. You want to go out and have a beer in the campsite? Absolutely. You want to have a barbecue session? Absolutely. I'll go, oh yeah, you want to meet up somewhere and we'll all get together? Yeah, absolutely. I'm in. Other times I avoid that with other people. It's weird. But with this group, the Renaissance Faire group, patrons, workers, vendors, entertainers, and the management, I'll get together with any one of them almost at any time and do something with them. I'll go out of my way to do it. That is amazing feeling to have. I know what the definition means, you know, now fully. Like, if you enjoy your work, you've never worked a day in your life. I mean, that's totally the amazing part of that. So, all right, also, let me get to number 4 here, the freedom of the job. The freedom of the job. This goes into it, is the fact that you can go to most of these fairs and you can just go in there and be relaxed. Do your job. No one's coming in to tell you how to run your fair. As long as you're, abiding by laws of the state that you're in and the rules and regulations of that fair, once you've done that, you're golden. You just do your thing, and you set your time, you set your schedule, and the freedom of that. Like it even loops into like the scheduling. I'm looking down at my paper here. That's why I keep glancing down here. But even when you're it loops into the scheduling thing, like the freedom of the job. It's you bust your butt over a weekend, and then you've got the week to recoup. If you want to sit outside, like sometimes I do, have a 6-pack of brew, once a week, and smoke a cigar out in a chair on a Wednesday, I can do that. I can do it at 7 in the morning. I can do it at 5 o'clock in the evening. I can do it at 11 o'clock at night. Whenever I want to do it, and I love that. The freedom of doing this and being a Renaissance Faire vendor is absolutely amazing. I love the freedom of it. There's time, you've got time to yourself because of how you have the open week. If you need to go do things, you can, and you don't have to ask anybody's permission to do so. That's what I love about it. So the freedom to run your business in the way you want to, the freedom to interact with folks, as long as you're doing it according to the, policies, and you're not offending or hurting anybody, or why would you want to ruin your own business anyway? But it's amazing. I can't express it unless you've done it. There's people out there that know what I'm talking about in whatever they're doing that they thoroughly enjoy. But this career path has that freedom, and I love it. I wouldn't trade it for anything. And that was number 4. So number 5, let me see, what do I got? Probably the most important, I guess, right? Maybe, is the money-making potential. If you've got a good product, if you've got something that people like, and if you're a good seller, and if you're a good hawker, or whatever the case may be, or you just have that niche, it's unlimited. The money you can make is extraordinary. So, but you've got to have the will to do it, the product, and you've got to have that heart. You've got to spit blood from, I've told you guys this, I spit blood out of my throat from talking and yelling and engaging so much. I do it at least once, maybe twice a season out of my throat. I've done it many times because it means that much to me. Because I know in the end, even getting that last little deal, that was $10 that I called out, that was $10 I didn't have before. It's like, and that's how much that means to me. And so that's what I mean by the money-making potential and the ability to get it. It's like, if you do it right, you have the right product, you can make a fine living doing this. You really can. It's good. So there's other videos that I've done and I go more depth on that. But really, I mean, that's it. That's just the basic. The money-making potential is very good if you reel in your product and your drive and your ability to kind of go after it in these settings. And you know what? At a Renaissance fair, at least for me, it's easy. They make it easy for you. You're not going out, they do all the advertising, you're not going out and going, all right, now I gotta draw people in. People gotta know that I'm here. Guess what? The 500,000 people that are coming per season, and whatever fair you go to, 250, it doesn't matter, that are coming, they're coming to the fair anyway. So all they got to do is locate you, and you're gonna, it's like a fishnet, you're gonna snag a few of them, you know, going by. So the money-making potential can be off the charts if you have a good product, and it can also be a trap for you too if you don't have the right products and you don't have the right attitude for the job. But that's not what this one's about. This is the 5 things I love about being a vendor, and that was it. And the final one is just the money-making potential. So anyway, that's it, guys. That's all I'm gonna do for videos until we start going on the road to TRF. So that's coming up in about 2 weeks that we're gonna start that video, and I'll have it popped up for you when I get it done, and you guys know what's up. Then I bombard you every single week with a new video from the Texas Renaissance Festival. So again, if you're new here, take a moment to like and subscribe if you want to learn about Renaissance fairs, if you want to see the fun that we have while we're out there. This is going to be a good season to do so. So, all right, guys, that's it for me. Hope you enjoyed the short one. I'll see you guys very soon at the Texas Renaissance Festival. Very, very soon. All right, take care. Sir Blasphemy, out.